All right, good morning everyone. Joel here down at 4 Degrees. In case you're like me, losing track of the days, today is April 13th. It's a Monday. And so what we want to do today is be able to provide some more information and also talk about the things that we do know at this point, which the only thing we do know is that COVID, kind of the stay home, stay safe order was extended to May 4th. I think everybody's tracking that, and I think it's probably one of the more difficult things that we're all dealing with is that it's a tentative date, at least as of right now. So some things that we're going to talk about today is last week we had a chance to go over some of the goals. So I sat down with all the first line leaders and some of you agents to kind of recap first quarter goals and how you did, and then also to create second quarter goals. And I think it's super important that we continue to do that no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, because to me, that's professional development, that's personal development. And I don't think just because COVID came down on us that we should stop developing as leaders or as individuals. So once again, if you're a team leader out there, I would strongly recommend that you continue to do that with your specific team. And I know on the management side, all the department heads are going to be sitting down with their teams this week as well to do that. The second thing that's going to be a little bit different about today's meeting is that I've asked everybody who is here or present at the office to come up in front to join their department head and to share one thing that is helping them to get through this time, helping them, helping their family, their spouses, or if they're single, just some things that I think are beneficial for everybody to be able to hear. So that being said, we're going to start off with Monique in the HOA department.
Hi guys, how's it going? So last week we worked on sharing board packets and financials with all of the board members. That went well. And then this week we are focused on unpaid charges letters and hopefully seeing some of the delinquencies that are a little bit higher this month than they normally are, getting more of that payment in. At home, we have been focusing on trying to keep a routine and going outside and getting a walk in every day, and that's helped us to kind of stay focused and keep pushing through the challenging times. I hope everyone's doing well and hope to see all of you guys soon.
Hello, Terry with Multifamily here, and just wanted to recap a little bit last week. I was actually pleased to see that, April, our first full week last week, was, pleasantly surprised to see that normal operations were pretty much maintained through this new normal. And it was for the most part, it wasn't as near as bad as I thought it was going to be for collections. I do think that, coming this week, we're all gonna have to double down and really pull in tight, use the resources that have been given to us, really express that to our residents. Gonna have to communicate just as much as possible to make sure that we're not missing one person out there, to make sure that we have done all of our due diligence and to make sure that everyone has all the, like I said, resources and capabilities they can to get through this month. Basically, with this, new normal again, it's tough to, when you're working from home, when you're trying to keep to your new routine. The big thing I think is important for myself, and I encourage everyone to do if you're not already, is to really come together with your family, come together with your spouse, maybe it's just your pet, regardless, to get out there and get that time with someone else. I think right now, since we're all so recluse, we've got to make sure that we're still trying to stay social out there, and whether that means FaceTime, whether that means going into the backyard with your family. Someone can be doing, you can each be doing individual items, but as long as you're all out there together, that makes a difference. And I know that, for me, our family, we try to, whether it's go outside, stay in the living room, play family night, game night, watch something that we're all into on TV. That's really important to make sure that we stick together through this time. All right, stay strong.
Good morning, I'm Tana. I'm Terry's assistant in multifamily. The biggest thing that we do at my home to stay healthy right now and stay positive is we go on scooter rides every day. We do have a trail in the back of our house, the back area. So I have a 4-year-old and 2-year-old, and I get them on scooters and I run while they scoot. We stop and try to look for bugs and see what's under rocks and just try to keep ourselves occupied and active. I hope everybody's doing well, and we will see you guys soon.
Hi, I'm Emmy. I'm in the organic department with Jessica. Last week was the first week of April, so we worked on move-out inspections and getting an idea of what kind of vacancies we're going to have for this coming month. We also are setting up payment plans from the response we got from the letters we sent out last week. And we're also working on owner statement review and then just typical leasing duties. What I've been doing at home is making sure to check in with my friends through FaceTime or an app called House Party. I'll check in with them throughout the day. I've took up the hobby of planting flowers and herbs and stuff, and taking advantage of this time to rest, because I know this summer is going to be crazy. So just taking advantage of the extra time I have on my hands.
Hi, I'm Christine from accounting. Last week there was a lot of input of checks from HOA associations, and I was able to actually pay most of those bills. This week I'm going to be paying organic and multifamily, and again more inputting of invoices and checks. And the way that I try and keep sane at home, and with everybody knowing my husband, that's not easy because he's a little on the crazy side, but we like to watch movies, and so we do spend a lot of time watching good funny movies. So that's an idea. All right, that's all I got. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Wish you guys were all here with us, of course. Currently, the turn team is still running on a skeleton crew. There's just myself and Alyssa and Brian trying to figure out ways to get some of the other team members involved in some work, whether it be cleaning or just trying to do whatever I can to help them through what they need to get through. We're doing a lot of turning of units right now, maintaining the emergency work orders, working on bids for projects as well as turns, and also doing some other cleaning bids and so forth. Trying to get some of my people brought back as soon as we can, but we just got to make sure that, of course, the work is there. Going to be doing quarterly reviews this week, so some of you who are at home, I hope you guys don't mind getting together and maintaining those processes that we want to continue throughout the rest of the year. And during this time, I know you hear a lot about people maintaining routines and so forth. I challenge y'all to try and maintain some sense of normalcy within. These are trying times, but day in and day out, what you can do to maintain that normalcy, I think, will go a long ways to your sanity. Or as we heard earlier from one of our co-workers, the health of your children might depend on that too. So stay healthy.
Hey guys, Alyssa with Turn Team. That was Warren, by the way. He forgot to introduce himself. I just want to make sure that I share a tip with you as far as what's keeping us sane at home, and we like to make sure that we get outside, get some sunshine. Something else is to give yourself some grace. You know, you can't keep everything perfect, and forgive yourself about that.
Hello everybody, I'm Brian. I'm with the Turn Team. Wasn't quite expecting to be up here, but I hope everybody's hanging in there through this. These are some times that are just absolutely crazy. So keeping your routine. If your routine falls out of place, don't let it get you down. Just kind of go with it and let tomorrow be another day, and we'll all get through this. I also encourage everyone that if you can, to check in on the people in your community, household, friends, family that are susceptible to disease and things like that, that might need help, and make sure they have groceries, make sure they have food, money, things like that on the table. Thanks.
Good morning. Last week with the brokerage, we had 9 closings and 8 listings. That's commendable. That's just phenomenal news. And you're maintaining ninth in the MLS right now, the brokerages. With that, we're a third of our way to our goal for the year. And this week we have as of now 3 listings and 4 closings, and that looks to be going up for this week. One thing that my family and I are doing is a lot of gardening and yard work, or just taking a drive to get away from the cabin fever that we're all feeling. Thank you.
Good morning, team. It's Sandy from the brokerage. First of all, I just want to say thanks for all your patience and understanding with emails, and you guys are doing a great job with all your paperwork. At my house, we started a new tradition, not tradition, but we started, each family member is in charge of cooking a meal during the week. They have to plan the meal, cook it, do the dishes, and we get to try something new. And also, we just been getting outside, digging in the dirt, doing yard work, gardening like Lee's doing. Enjoy the sunshine, and I can't wait to see all your faces again. Bye.
So I'm going to piggyback a little bit off what Sandy said. I think one of the goals that I've been trying to do, or we've been doing in our house, is trying to find something new that we can do, try, things we've always said we're going to do and never really addressed. Another one that's really helped me, because this has really been a slowed down pace, has been creating the best 4 hours of a day I can create. So in those 4 hours, I do the productive elements, and then the rest of it, I kind of leave up to what my crazy little 4.5-year-old Lola loves to do. So find that for yourself, find that way to make a productive element, and get as quickly to that new normal as possible. Look forward to seeing you all.
All right, cool. So one thing that I want to share is something that we're doing at the house, and you've probably heard it before, but is we're being intentional about getting outside. And so outside might look like turning the sprinklers on, or at least trying to figure that out. Might look like plowing a garden. It looks like a number of different things. It could be going on a hike. But for us, it's important that we continue to capitalize on this sunshine. Even though we heard from Emmy this morning that it's almost like a false sunshine and that it's bright outside, but it's still 32. Either way, that's almost like summer for people in Spokane. So that's one thing that I would encourage you guys to do, is to continue to get outside whenever you can, however you can, and continue to stay engaged in that way. So the next thing I want to talk about is the choices that we have. And I was thinking about this all weekend, actually, because what else am I doing? A lot of thinking. And I believe we have a couple different choices to make. I believe we can either A, choose to stay aggressive and stay engaged and stay motivated and continue to create traction within our businesses. Like that's one choice. And then the second choice that we have is to choose to be complacent. And sometimes it's not necessarily a choice, it's almost like this slippery slope that we make one decision that leads into another decision and another one and another one. And then before you know it, you're kind of sitting on the couch eating potato chips, binge watching, right? So that's a place that none of us want to be. And it's something that you have to continue to fight against constantly, specifically with these restrictions that are on us. It's important that every single day that you get up, you got to figure out, okay, what does winning look like for me today? What does winning look like for my kids? What does it look like for my spouse? What does it look like for my roommate? Whoever it is, the more you can focus on other people around you and helping them succeed, I think the better off you're going to be when I think about mental health, right? The other thing this weekend that I was thinking about is a message to the extroverts. So if you don't know, I am an introvert. And so something like COVID-19 is almost like heaven on earth. Like I don't have to interact with people. And actually, people tell me I can't interact with people. I have to stay home with my kids and my wife. And maybe I don't necessarily like doing chores around the house, but it's kind of fun when it's nice weather. I'm almost like a fair weather chore guy. But I had a conversation with somebody who's, I would say, almost like an extreme extrovert. And it is very, very hard for them right now. Like they can't go out and interact with their friends. They can't leave their house. They can't do things that normally would fill them up. And so one thing that I would say to you guys specifically, because I know within our community, 4 Degrees community, we have extroverts. Well, to be honest, let's think about the whole sales force. You almost have to be an extrovert to be a good salesperson. But let's think about them for right now, and let's think about the hardship that they're going through. And one thing that I would say to you guys is that this too shall pass. Like this time, we're gonna look back on in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and just kind of reminisce on how difficult it was, but the fact that we got through. And so some of those things that are gonna get you through are things that you've already heard today. It's gonna be sticking to your routine. It's gonna be diving into your business. It's gonna be diving into your relationships. It's gonna be those types of things that you get the opportunity to look back on and almost pat yourself on the back for doing it, for taking a step forward and getting aggressive about it, versus letting life kind of hit you and beat you up and you doing nothing about it. So that being said, know that you have kind of the 4 Degrees support group, even though we're all virtual right now. If you have any concerns or questions, you can always get a hold of us, and make sure that you know that we're here to support you, okay? So stay healthy, stay safe, and stay engaged. Thanks.